Welcome to the Craftswoman channel. Greetings, everyone. I am the Craftswoman, and I want to tell you my story about why I had my unassisted birth. Now, I've had more than one, but I want to tell you why I decided to do it the first time. Now, I do have like all the details, all the juicy details about my prenatal experience, the birth, and all that in my book, The Dark One Redemption 3. But I've been holding this in for a few years now. And when I first had my unassisted home birth, I was so excited. I was telling everybody, telling my birth worker friends, and they were like, "You crazy, and what's wrong with you, and don't do that again." So I started to just not even talk about it anymore. But it's I was very proud of myself for delivering my own baby at home without the help of doctors or midwives. So it's not really, honestly, it's not even really a big thing. Well, it is a big thing, but it's not really a big thing because, we just, not too many years ago, we were just been allowed to be in the hospitals. So what you think we were doing before we were able to birth in the hospitals? We were birthing at home. And yes, we did have trained professionals to come and help us. Some of them probably couldn't read, but they had the knowledge to know how to help when it comes to delivering a baby. And I do want to say, first of all, no one can actually deliver your baby. Essentially, the woman is the one who actually delivers her baby. So, the first time I heard about home births, just not even unassisted, but the first time I heard about home births was when I was pregnant with my first child about 16 years ago. The midwife, she let me borrow a DVD at that time. And in the DVD, it was a woman who was actually giving birth in the ocean. Now, that's a little far-fetched for me, but the only thing I could think of was having my baby in the tub. And so I looked at that video, and I did want a home birth. I did want a water birth, but I just did not have people around me to help me with that. And I was actually a little scared to do it. So I ended up birthing in the hospital. I tore, I had to get stitches. They ruptured my membranes. They broke my water because my water wasn't breaking fast enough according to whatever they thought that it was supposed to happen. I was attached to the monitor, so I would say I'm chained to the bed because I really couldn't get up and do anything. All I was doing was yelling and screaming for somebody to come and help me, give me some medication. They came in and told me that I was not even dilated. The lady was like, "Oh, you're probably a 0 or 1. You're not even dilated." And so I was like, "Oh, this is unbearable. Please give me an epidural." I'm screaming. They come in there like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm just in labor. So, the lady came back to check me, and she said, "Oh my goodness, you're 8 centimeters dilated." So they rushed me to the delivery room, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is, screaming, crying, please give me the epidural." They was giving me some other medication, and I don't even really, I kept asking the nurse, "What is this called?" And I was like, "Thank you, thank you." But it still wasn't strong enough for me. So I was like, "Give me the epidural." And I remember hearing them saying like, "Oh, she's 8 centimeters dilated," like questioning should I have gotten the epidural, which I shouldn't have, because I ended up delivering real soon after I got the epidural. And when I got my epidural, I don't even think they gave me whatever the full dosage was, because once he kept the guy, the anesthesiologist was like, "Oh, you're so small." So maybe they didn't give me a full dosage. I don't know what what they're supposed to give you, but I was like, I still feel this. Of course, it wasn't as severe. What I was feeling wasn't that severe, but I was like, I still feel this. So they, I got the epidural. I saw them put this long thing inside of me to break my water. After I got the epidural, and what usually happens after you get the epidural, they're saying, oh, the heart rate is going down. So that's normal for the heart rate to decrease. So they had me flipping over back and forth to, I guess so the baby can get in a better position, maybe, so that the heart rate will return normal. But usually that's when they go and that's when they go and say, oh, we have to do an emergency C-section because the baby's heart rate is going down. Baby's heart rates do fluctuate. I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to claim to cure, treat, diagnose anything. Of course, seek medical attention. Have to give that disclaimer when I'm talking about things like this. So I ended up delivering. After I delivered, they put my baby to the side, and I was like, can I have my baby? They gave me my baby, and they said, oh, we're going to take the baby to the nursery so he can get rest, whatever. So I did not like that at all. So that's what happened. I just was not satisfied with my experience of birthing in the hospital. So I got pregnant again, and I was like hiding it. I believe in, keeping your pregnancy private. So I kept my pregnancy private. I didn't really go anywhere, really didn't do anything. Or if I did, I just made sure it wasn't noticeable. So I'm thinking that I'm hiding my pregnancy by wearing this dress it's not really form-fitting. It's kind of like I guess it was kind of like a sundress, a real flowy, flowery dress. And so I go to a doula meeting. A doula had invited me to go to a meeting. I don't remember what we were even talking about. But we went to the meeting, and so I saw my doula friends, and they were looking at my stomach like, girl, you ain't never had no stomach. What's going on? You pregnant? And I was like, you can tell? So I really be thinking I'm hiding my pregnancy, and people be like, you ain't hiding nothing. So they said, oh, you gonna do unassisted, you gonna do a home birth? And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it because I tore. So the first time I delivered, the first time I had a baby, I tore and I had to get stitches. So that was always my fear of what if I tear? So I was like, no, I don't want to do unassisted, because those doulas had unassisted home births. So it wasn't a big thing for them. And there's a community of women that do this, and they have free wild pregnancies, like unassisted pregnancy, all that stuff. They don't see no doctor. They do their own testing themselves. So I was like, no, no, I don't think I want to have a home birth. Don't think I want to do it unassisted. So I sought out to go to, of course, I want a black midwife. I want to go to a black midwife. So I went to my prenatal appointment with her. I was not happy with I wasn't really feeling her. But I was like, we really don't have that many choices when it comes to black midwives. So I'm just going to go ahead and see if we can do this. So there was an issue with the insurance that I had. The insurance would not cover the home birth. And then with the insurance, I still had to pay a deductible. And the deductible was just about with the deductible and the co-pays, it was about the same as me having a home birth. So I really didn't like the fact of me having to pay thousands of dollars for the deductible to have my baby in the hospital. I just did not like that. And then my copay, I felt like my copay was pretty high. So I'm going to my prenatal care. I'm also seeing black OBGYNs. I'm trying to find OBGYN. So let me see. I'm trying to see at the timeline. Did I go? Because I kept changing doctors. Like, because it's just not. The first doctor that I went to, the black OBGYN, she wasn't even available. They said that she's like the C-section doctor. Like, that's really all she does. She didn't have any children herself, and that kind of was a little bit of a red flag to me. I know we don't know, and it doesn't matter all the time. Just because you have children doesn't mean that you're good, and just because you don't have children doesn't mean that you're bad. But I kind of want someone who has actually delivered themselves. So when I went to see her to get my initial PAP and all of my testing, I didn't see her. I saw a nurse practitioner who was not black. So I'm like, okay. And so it was a birthing center. So, so I ended up having the second, so when I had my second unassisted home birth, my doula actually did show up, because that birth was so long. She actually did show up, so I was able to actually have her support during that time. And that's how I ended up having a water birth, because she was like, why don't you just get in the tub? So I was like, this is taking too long. I'm finna go to the hospital, bump this. And the first time I was finna go to the hospital, because I was like, this hurt too bad. I'm finna get an epidural. But the second time, I wasn't even concerned about how I was feeling. I was just like, this needs to hurry up. And I started to see like, I guess meconium, or it was like some green stuff in the waters. I had a fetal monitor to check the heart rate or whatever. I did that, and I wasn't feeling like there was anything wrong. I was just like, it just needs to hurry up. I just need to hurry up and have this baby. So the thing about having you an unassisted home birth, you do have to have some form of knowledge. Now, some people do it, just be out here free birthing seriously, but you do need to have some knowledge to know what are the red flags. When do you need to go to the emergency room? Because we're not trying to be so prideful that we just gotta have our baby at home to prove some type of point. No, it's all about being safe. So safety is a concern when you are having your baby at home without the help of a doctor. Okay, so I don't want people to feel like, you just do it and just see what happens. No, there's some preparation that go in it. So I ended up doing it again, and it was a good experience. All of my children are healthy, and I would not go and do anything different. I mean, okay, yeah, there were some things that I could change, but I definitely would still do at-home unassisted birth. So the reason why a lot of us are doing this, because there's a community, and people talk down about people who do this, especially in the birth community. They talk about people who do this, who do the unassisted birthing, free birthing, wild pregnancy, wild free birth keeper, or whatever. But you're the reason why, midwives. You're the reason why, because you don't have personable skills. You turn people off. You don't have bedside manner. You're not confidential. You don't know how to keep things confidential. You gossip too much. Who wants everybody in the community to know their personal medical business? So as much as you want to talk down about these people who are doing this, who are birthing at home without a midwife, y'all are the problem. And I've been wanting to say this for so many years, and I don't care what people say about this, but you need to fix yourself, because we have a infant and maternal mortality problem. Not only are the people not passing, or the people passing away, they're getting injured, malpractice, complications. So you all need to get yourself together. And recently someone said, a midwife said, oh, I said, yeah, I had my baby at home unassisted. Oh, don't do that. You can't tell nobody what to do. If they want to do it, they are going to do it. And it's a community. It's women. It's groups of women who are not on social media. It's some that are. But it's people that's doing this. Baby after baby after baby. They're having their babies at home without the midwives for whatever reason, whether it's financial or, I mean, some midwives will work with you financially, and I just kind of feel like you can save up the money. You can get your weave and your other stuff, your Louis and all this other stuff. You can save up some money to hire you a midwife. To me, it's not about the money. It's about you all making people feel comfortable. And you're injuring babies too. When I was looking up these midwives reports in the health department, they got records too. They got stuff that they doing too. So not only should you look up the doctors there to find out if they have something going on with the medical board and lawsuits and stuff, you guys have stuff too. You raggedy. These midwives out here raggedy. I'm sorry. I love midwives. I love what they do, the sacrifices that they make, and these are just the ones that I had access to. Some of you all are so busy where you can't even get any, like the ones that you want, they're so busy. They can't get anybody. And another thing about these midwives, when you try to work with them and you want to be like an assistant, and it's just not me, it's other people too. If you're not in their clique, they don't want to even train you. They don't want you to even help them. So it's so much that's going on in the birthing community. And if you don't want to see people doing the free births, you need to get your act together, because people are going to do it and they're going to keep doing it and they're successful. And when it comes to the passing away, most of that stuff happened in the hospital. So please don't try to come and say, like somebody had shared a post saying that when someone hears that you have your baby at home, oh, it's a good thing you didn't DIE. Oh, what you think is it's a morgue in the hospital, boo? It's a morgue in there, and they got a quota to meet. So what are you talking about? All of this unaliving that we see, it's in the hospitals. Most of the time, it's not at home. And if it's at home, it's because these people did not look for the red flags. And sometimes stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna live together. Sometimes live forever. Sometimes stuff happens. But a lot of these tragedies is not happening at home. It's happening in the hospital. And a lot of you midwives, oh my gosh, this is another thing that I did not like, is that you transfer. And I know that because you have insurance, you have policies, you have like a board that you have to answer to, you have a license. There are certain things that you have to do. So you have to do what you have to do. But you guys are so scary. You're transferring for everything. For like every little thing. Oh, we got to hurry up and transfer. So people ended up getting transferred, and they end up getting cesareans and not having a birth that they want to have because you guys are scary. That's it. That's the truth. So I do want to say that if those people who are planning on having their unassisted birth, first of all, when you make that decision, nobody can change your mind. So you can say whatever you want to say to that person. If they've already made their mind up, they made their mind up. And it's a personal, spiritual decision. It's like, you know that you are responsible for your life and your baby's life. So if y'all don't make it, it's your fault. It's your responsibility. We already know that. So if someone wants to have their baby at home, to me, it was a spiritual experience that I knew within my soul, within my shunned, as they say, within my insides, that I was going to be okay and my baby was going to be okay. But I'm not still so aloof up in the air that I'm not thinking logically of like, okay, I'm not finna sit up here and hemorrhage and you know, if something don't happens, that the emergency room is not there. So for those who want to do this, do your research. You still need a birth team. To me, some people do it by themselves, but you know, still have your support people around you to help you, and be confident in your decision. And also be mindful of the legal ramifications that can happen, like I said, that happened during the first time. You got to be prayed up, studied up, and know that you know that this is the way that you are supposed to birth. Know that this is what you're supposed to do. And if you decide that that's what you want to do, nobody can change your mind. And you midwives, you can't change nobody's mind. If they want to have their baby at home without hiring you, that is their decision. And I thought that midwives was over the birth. You know, a woman should birth the way she feel like she wants to birth. If she's taking care of herself and she's not putting herself at risk, it's low risk. First of all, you're supposed to be if you're high risk, yes, go to the hospital. There are people who have chronic illnesses. Yes, home birth is just not an option for you. But there are some people who defy the odds, who can be labeled high risk and still have their babies at home unassisted. So I've been wanting to say that for years. Finally got that out. I've been holding that in. I know people are gonna hate it or whatever and say whatever. I don't care. At this point, I'm at the age where I don't care. And I just want to be a voice for those people. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Nobody can change it. If you want to know more of the details about my birthing experiences, I put it in my book, my last book, The Dark Womb Redemption 3, which is a guide to fertility, home birth, and breastfeeding. So I also talk about my journey of overcoming infertility. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let us know, what did you think about this video?